I'm going to work hard, and I did that.
Now more of a risk question.
30% ruling.
Why didn't you?
Because I was not aware. Just, hey, how are you doing? You owe us this amount. Don't worry. We're gonna fine you if you don't pay, but don't worry.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Unit CD Podcast.
Today we're exploring what it's like to move to the Netherlands on a startup visa and actually get settled here. And I'm joined by Shapoor, who made the move to the Netherlands and now is settling on the ground. Could you please introduce yourself?
My name is Shapoor. I'm CEO and co-founder of RealParse, which is an online learning platform for industrial automation. We teach people how to program industrial computers. That's actually my background. It's kind of a subcategory of electrical engineering, and that's what I used to do back in Iran for a company that I was working for. You want to learn coding, for example, JavaScript or something like that. There are plenty of platforms. But if you want to learn how to code in industrial computers, back then there was not that much. Nowadays also not that much of online training for it. So that's what I thought, that it could be a good opportunity. We can add value to the market, and that's why we started RealParse.
Interesting. And why the Netherlands?
First of all, I had, before coming to Netherlands, I had a couple of friends from here. So I already knew the culture, and I wanted to be in Europe. And I was looking at my options, that where could be the best possible place for me to start a business. And I did my research. I came to the conclusion that among all the countries like Germany, France, and other countries, Netherlands is the best considering all the options.
So you did compare it to Germany and to France. Any other countries?
No, I think I was looking at Sweden as well, but at the end I came to the conclusion that Netherlands is the best option to start with.
When you started to actually think about moving to the Netherlands, I think there's a lot on your plate, like IND, bureaucracy, many other things that you have to handle. What did you start with?
So when you start in a new place, you don't know what you don't know, right? So the first step was for me to apply for a facilitator, and when I came here, and then I realized, okay, there are things that I need to do for my personal life as well. For example, applying for IND, applying for tax, applying for getting an accountant, for example. That was also some important step for me. I got here in November 2018, and when you get to a new country, you need to look for the basic setup. So you don't have a bank account, you don't have a resident card. So these are the first things that you need to start to get to be able to operate here. So those are the steps. I started with getting my resident card, and then with that I got my personal bank account, and then the company bank account, and then the company bank account you need to give it to the accountant, and then start setting up the taxes for you properly and things like that. And that's how I learned. Of course, I did a lot of mistakes. If I go back, I may avoid some of the mistakes I made, that's, I think, with any other person as well. When you come to a new place, there is a possibility for you to make mistakes, but the good thing is, if you have the possibility to learn from others. I didn't back then, because this startup program was something new. I didn't have the privilege of talking to other entrepreneurs that came here, or maybe there were a few, but I didn't make the move to properly ask from them, and because of that, I made a few mistakes here and there as well.
Did you wish you had someone who could help you with settling in, opening the bank account, any other things you may need?
That would be helpful. Of course, you have access to your facilitator, but the facilitator is they're helping you in a different way. So they're helping you to connect you with investors or expanding your business network. Of course, if you ask them, they can guide you, but that's not their primarily focus, right? And the problem is that you don't know what you don't know again. So, for example, one thing that I missed in the first year or two that I came to Netherlands was this rule of 30% ruling, that they have it. I didn't use it here in Netherlands.
Why? Why didn't you?
Because I was not aware. I didn't know that such thing exists, and
how,
no one told me.
How did you learn that it actually exists?
I think I learned, when other people, I was talking to other friends and they were like, oh, you don't have this? I was like, no, I don't have it. This could have been good help for me during the early years, so you pay less tax, of course. But also you get other things like you can convert your driving license, for example. So that also I could do it with this rule. But I was not aware that such thing exists.
And when you learned that it does exist, actually, was it already too late to apply?
Yeah, it was too late. I could never use that, even to this day.
Yeah, so do you wish, again, that there was someone who could actually do the whole round of things and who could guide you through the process? Not just business, but life as well.
Yeah, it would be helpful. It would be helpful. So for business registration, I used a service, an online service, and that worked pretty well. And their pricing was reasonable compared to other notaries that some of them were charging you an arm and a leg to register a company here. But again, with that company, there was not a whole package. We set up your company, we set up your tax, we set up you with this and that and that. If you ask them, maybe they can provide you with services. But when you're new here, again, you don't know that what are the questions that you need to ask.
You don't know what
so
you
may
need.
And so you may miss things here and there.
Yeah, that's correct. I think that's what Unit City is really trying to do, is the whole round service. So you skip any kind of mistakes that you also mentioned about the ruling, about, as you said, insurance. You can ask the facilitator, but would they help really? I'm not sure.
Yeah, if that's not their main job,
Right.
If they have information, they will share it with you, but the rule of a facilitator is different than supporting you with your taxes or supporting you with insurance and things like that. And again, you need to know that the people that work there, they are already Dutch people, Dutch citizens, most of them, right? So they're not in the same condition as you. So they may think that, okay, these rules, they're very they should know this, but
simple.
when they're simple. Everyone knows this. But when you're coming from a different country for the first time to a new country, then there is a possibility for you to miss things.
That's a lot you don't know. Also with the language and bureaucracy, I think the big struggles. What did you struggle with the most?
Well, with the letters, a lot of letters. You get a lot of letters here.
Belastingdienst.
Which is not something that I'm used to. So I come from Iran, and in Iran, everything when the government wants to communicate with you, they send you a text, right? And they don't do that much communication with you there. But here, the government likes to communicate with you a lot during the week, for example, a few times every week, just hey, how are you doing? We just wanted to make sure that you know that you owe us this amount. Don't worry, we are gonna fine you if you don't pay, but don't worry, we just wanted to remind you. And they send and they send you a lot of letters, and they're in Dutch, of course. And then when you are here, when you're new, there's one thing that you want to translate those, but there's another thing that you don't know how to pay these. Slowly, you get a hang of it, so you learn how these letters work and how you need to respond to it. Which one you can maybe ignore, which one you need to act. But back then I had a privilege of having a good friend of mine, and she was Dutch, so every time I was scanning my letter, sending to her, hey, this is a letter that I received, what should I do now? And then she was so kind to help me with these. So that's how I handled my letters back then.
You're definitely lucky to have such a friend who would
Yeah.
scan letters for you.
Yeah.
So you did use some outside support. What was the time when you realized, okay, it's necessary to have someone else on board with you?
But when it comes to administrations, I'm very lazy. So I try to use as much as outside help. Like at the beginning for these letters, it was my friend, and then my accountant helped me. And still to this date, I have my bookkeeper. She's looking at my letters and looking into the details, and she helps me with those and how to process them.
Did you have the same good click with the whole application process? Or were there other things that you maybe struggled with or worried about? Were unsure about the timing, perhaps?
I know that other entrepreneurs, they had some friction and they had some struggles. But I think for us, the main reason for us that there was no friction was that we were making money. So our business was still small, but you could show that, hey, this is the business model. And of course, it's a new business model, but we are making money. So people are paying for this platform that we had. And then that helped us a lot. So compared to other startups, but I've heard from other friends that or other people that came here, because they are pre-revenue, there is a lot more questions that they need to answer, and it is a bit more difficult for them to get accepted.
You definitely have to be very precise with the application then.
Yes.
Way more precise than when you're making money. Would you say that?
Yeah, definitely. You need to tell all the truth. And definitely not like lying in or showing something that you're not. For example, saying something that we have paying customers, but then you come here, you don't have any paying customers, or you have ready to use product, but then coming here and they find out that your product is like 50% ready, not 100% ready, things like that. So the more upfront you are about and honest you are, the easier it is for you to get accepted for the facilitator.
But sometimes people are very upfront and very clear about what their business is, and they still get rejected. What do you think happens then? Why?
Yeah, there are a lot of cases that I've heard that they get rejected, and I don't have specific details of those cases. But from what I hear, there might be a mismatch between the company and the facilitators. Some facilitators only support a specific industries, and other than that, the facilitator decides that this company is not at the stage, or maybe the team is not the team that we want to support.
Or maybe it is the right one, but the business plan is not written well. Could that be
Yeah,
the
that
case?
also could be as well. Yeah, definitely.
Imagine you invested a lot of time, money, resources. You wrote a business plan, you worked with facilitator, and you still get rejected. What do you think the emotions could be at that stage?
You feel frustrated, but yeah, it's just no, and no means that you need to try again.
Again, with the IND in Netherlands or in another country?
Well, you should have made your decision before applying for the facilitator. So if you have made a decision that you need to come to Netherlands, and then the first facilitator rejects your application, then you need to be very honest with yourself, get the feedback, revise your offering, revise your application, and then apply for another one, and then apply for another one, and then you keep applying until you get accepted.
That's definitely the plan, but what would you say, what would be the main steps for the person who just wants to apply? They're watching our podcast and they're still at the beginning stage. What would you say to them? What's the best course scenario they could take?
My suggestion is for them to use the knowledge and advice of people that have already done this. They can ask other people that have already done this. A few simple questions could really help. Those questions that they are answering and give you those information. Maybe they have lost 1 or 2 years of their lives to figure those things out. So it is always good to ask questions. Or if you can provide for services of other company like your company, maybe asking is also helpful. And then if you can see that if that person is a right fit for your product. So yeah, that's what I always recommend, that it is good for you to pay for the experience with your money, but not your time, because sometimes you should pay, you can pay like 2 years of your life for something that you could have avoided with 200 euros, you know?
Exactly.
And
One
that's really,
consultation.
that's a really good trade-off.
And then perhaps you would have applied to 30% ruling.
Yeah,
And
the
then
chance was high.
The whole thing could have been different.
Yeah.
That is the case for entrepreneurs, that we want them to know things in advance so they avoid any mistakes and any kind of uncertainties that they might have. Now more of a risk question. Did you ever consider other visa options if something goes wrong in your startup?
Not really. I decided that Netherlands is the country that I want to come, and I applied for it, and then I worked hard when I came here. I stayed on my the same visa. First it was a startup visa and then self-employed. After 1 year, they evaluate your business and they give you some points. If I remember correctly, there was I think 90 points back then, and we received 90 out of 90. So that was pretty smooth for us to get the self-employed visa, like switch from a startup visa to self-employed.
Definitely on the safe side then.
Yes.
And speaking about the language, so you mentioned that Netherlands is the country for you. But what about language? Did you have to learn Dutch, or could you operate with English?
Well, maybe I'm not the best person to give language advice, because I didn't start my journey of learning Dutch very early when I came here. If I go back, I will definitely start in the first year. But the good thing about Netherlands, if you compare it to, for example, Germany, is that a lot of people speak English. So that gives you soft landing here. So you don't have to speak Dutch when you come here. You can go for the first few years without knowing even Dutch. But it is always good when you're living in a country, and especially when you are trying to make money, generate revenue in a country. It is always good for you to learn the local language, because then your chance is higher.
And then maybe you could also read the letters that tax office sends you.
Yeah, that makes your life easier as well.
And not sending them to a friend.
Yeah.
That's a possibility. So if I understand correctly, you regretted a little bit that you didn't start learning immediately.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. Any other things that you regret over the whole application journey?
Not really. I think if I go back, I would start learning Dutch. I would apply for 30% tax ruling, and in terms of doing business, I would do some of the things about the business and a bit differently. But one thing that I did correctly, I think, I gave a promise to my facilitator that I'm here, that I'm going to work my ass, and I'm going to work hard, and I did that. And I think that's something that I'm really proud. If I want to be honest, my business didn't get to a level that I was planning to, but still, if you compare it with other companies that maybe they started at the same year, we are one of the good companies, and that is because we worked really hard. And we're still working hard, because they put some trust on us, and they accepted us to this facilitator and to this country. And anywhere you go, you need to add value. And I'm proud that we could add value. And for the Dutch economy, of course, it is a small part and a very small contribution. but we are paying our due to the Dutch economy, and this is what like any entrepreneur should think about, and they should work hard to when they come here. Yes, facilitators are here to help other people, other organizations, other companies are going to help you, but you as an entrepreneur, your job is to add value to the economy of the country that you're going to. So that's something that I think we did good.
Any final remarks for the audience?
One thing that I can say, if you got accepted, not only to Netherlands but any other country, if you go there, first be honest, and second work hard.
Mm-hmm.
These are two main things that I would recommend.
Inspiring, thank you. For those ready to start their startup visa application, check our link in the description. We have the short intake form and the calendar to book a consultation with Unit City. For more details and setup of moving to the Netherlands, check our social media channels. And thank you so much for this wonderful conversation. I'm sure it was very motivational, inspiring, and detailed for the audience.
Thank you. Yeah, thank you very much. It was a pleasure.
And we'll see you next time.